When luxury brands enter China, they don't just translate their names, they upgrade them. Imagine translate them literally. Lancôme becomes some French words. Hermès becomes a horse stuff. And Estée Lauder just someone's name. Technically accurate, but not exactly conveying the elegance and luxury. Here's the interesting part. When these brands enter China, they don't sound less refined. They often sound even more elegant. And if you ever want to sell to China, there's actually a lot you can learn from the global brand choose to rename themselves. Let's look at a few. Hermès become 爱马仕. 爱 means love. 马 means horse. It still keeps horse. That makes sense. 士 is a nobleman in Asian China, which carries the sense of status and refinement. It doesn't just look like a French horse anymore. It sounds more romantic, elevated, and almost noble. Next example is Revlon, becomes 露华浓. 露 means dew. 华 means splendor or flower. And 浓 means rich, refined, intense. It actually comes from a Tang dynasty poem by Li Bai. 云想衣裳花想容，春风拂槛露华浓. In the touch of a spring wind, blossoms gleam, lush, radiant, and glow. It doesn't just sound elegant. It sounds like poetry. Lancôme become Lancôme. Lan means orchard. It's a symbol of elegance in the Chinese culture. Kou refers to a fragrant plant, often associated with youth and femininity in the classical literature. Even if you don't know the brand, the name sounds soft, refined, feminine, like their perfume in the air. Estée Lauder become 雅诗兰黛. Instead of a surname, it becomes a phrase. 雅 means elegance. 诗 means poetry. 兰 means orchard. Dye is an Asian dark minimal pigment for eyebrow. Elegant, poetic, floral, historical. It feels like something from a classical literature and carries a piece of the beauty history. So what is this? Technically, it is just translation. Here is what it gets interesting. They are reinventions. In Chinese, every syllable is a character, and every character carries meanings. So when brands enter China, they are not just translating. It's a great opportunity to refine the meaning. By rewriting the spirit of a name, they adjust the tone who they are. Because a name is the farthest way to open a market. Secondly, luxury speaks different language in different culture. Luxury isn't universal. It's culturally coded. What feels elegant in one language can feel ordinary in another. In English branding, elegance comes from restraint, clean lines, minimal design, quiet confidence. Also, luxury often carries a surname. Chanel, Dior, Gucci, where heritage plays a big role. Founder's name itself becomes a mark of authority. Well, in Chinese luxury branding, the expression often shifts. Instead of carrying a surname, names often carries imagery. Instead of restraint and minimalism, it often leans towards refinement, softness, delicacy, detail. It's less about who founded the brand. It's more about the feeling the name evokes. Names are more symbolic, more poetic, more evocative. They suggest something rather than state it directly. That's why these translations don't just copy sound, they recreate a mood. And sometimes that makes them feel even more luxurious. So what do you think? Do these names actually sound better conveying the brand image? We obviously cannot go through many brands today, but this pattern shows up very often than you expect. If there is a brand you're curious about, drop in the comments and we can look at it together. And if you're thinking about your own name or wondering how it would sound in another language, especially how it can sound better in China, comment down below and I'd love to explore it for you. Thank you, and I will see you again soon.